Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Call It Konversation with me, Rick.
And me, Naeem.
And this young man is going to be a kind of a secretive thing, because we really don't even know what to call him at this
Blast
point.
from the past?
Close the car.
The blast from the past. His name is Russell.
Chef Russell.
Chef Russell, we're going to do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go with
we
Chef
can
Russell.
go
Title.
do that.
He doesn't want any of his martial arts titles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't call you guru or
No guru.
But let's
White
say
belt.
this is the preemie. This is the lead up to his show.
That's right.
There you go.
Damn.
So
Go.
the reason why we're here today with this young man, and I say that very loosely, back in the day, back probably in the 70s.
Dude, him and I went to high school together. Come on. He just has more facial hair.
This is more patient, right? So back in my high school days, which is the 70s, a group of us friends, and this is the Bruce Lee era, so, you know, and I want to make sure that everybody understands what this is all about. So during the Bruce Lee era, a bunch of the Filipino guys wanted to do a movie.
So he was Filipino then.
I was.
Oh, okay.
Honorary, let's do it that way.
Yeah.
He had the honorary title, because, you know, we had to feed him the bullet to make sure he could handle being a Filipino. And so they decided to make a movie, and
They did.
this was a martial arts movie because, again, Bruce Lee was a big thing back in the 70s. And we don't know whatever happened to that movie. I don't know if it was even complete or whatever. But every so often on Facebook, we'll have little pictures from that movie pop up everywhere. They have me doing a flying kick. They have me doing another one where I'm kicking, or I get kicked in the face by a guy named Michael Douglas. Mike, you know what I'm talking about.
Wait. Michael Douglas?
Yeah, his name is Mike Douglas. Yeah, Michael Douglas. Yeah.
Not the
See,
Michael
what-
Douglas.
I was going to say...
No relationship.
okay.
He was a white Filipino kid. No shit though.
Oh, this is Michael Douglas.
Michael
Douglas.
Douglas.
Douglas. That's right. We remember Douglas.
So we have all these kids, right? And I think the oldest might have been about 17 or 18, 19, like around there, right? And Danny was one of the lead guys because Danny was a badass back in the day.
Yep.
When he didn't do Pakiti, he was just doing regular kung fu from Bruce Lee, right? So we all did, right?
So he learned from cinema.
So he learned cinema. So cinema martial arts is what he learned, right? But it was really cool because I was like, you know, I must have been about 12 or 13 or something like that.
And
these
they
guys,
let-
"Hey, yeah,
they
you're
let
gonna-"
you hang out
They
with
let
them?
me hang out with the adults, and it was a lot of fun. I remember going up to a park over in San Francisco, and, you know, had the whole. These guys are dressed up in kung fu outfits with a, you know.
Got
it
a
was-
Mao jackets on.
Yeah, and you imagine a white guy.
The tallest guy.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
That's like here and
You,
everybody's here.
you still are.
Yeah.
Everyone shrunk the same amount.
So that's the backstory of why this guy is here. Apparently, Danny called me the other day and says, "Hey, do you remember this tall white kid?" And blah blah blah. I'm like, "Which one?" There's a few, right? He goes, "You know, the one in the movies." He goes, "Vaguely," right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. But when we walk in here to see this guy, he goes, "Oh, I know who this fucker is. I remember him."
Or as Danny says is, damn, you haven't hit puberty yet?
Exactly.
I'm like, you're so wrong. So, for the record,
No.
yeah, I hit puberty.
Now, as you know, folks, we usually get people who have some kind of arts behind them, whether it's bodybuilding, nutrition, whatever. And I didn't realize this about him because
Yeah,
Danny
bodybuilding.
says, and this is the cool part, and this is why I actually wanted you on the show, that you actually trained with the Crazy Dragons.
Yeah.
And we love those people over there. I mean, I used to badmouth them all the time because they cheated me out of placing in a tournament.
Yeah.
No, wham! And I get the chest. But that's those guys. And we had the privilege of talking to, and you, I'm sure you know her. If you don't, then you're fake. Tammy Whelan.
Okay.
You remember her? Probably after you a little bit.
She was there. I didn't get to know her that well. Greg was the head instructor.
Right.
And so she was in a much more advanced class than I was when I first started.
Oh.
So I spent most of my time on my back when I was first there.
I know those days.
Yeah,
I remember those.
Greg was a firm believer that you had to earn your get up rule. So, but yeah.
Did you play in any of the tournaments of those days?
I was in a lot of the local tournaments.
Right. Yeah,
so-
Ralph Castro stuff.
Yeah, Ralph Castro. Roy Castro was my grandmother's neighbor, so
Oh, cool.
his kids were more or less my babysitters. Ralph's daughters. Yeah.
June, April, May.
Yeah. Matter of fact, when the Snapple commercials came out of them, I
that's
know.
right, that did happen.
Yeah, they had I was like, oh, I know them. So Roy Castro had the studio on Leland, which was probably one of my first exposures to martial arts was Eagles Claw Kempo. So,
Right.
yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
So,
I would have never thought that you went this route. How long after that when we were hanging out in the days?
so it was pretty much after I started getting into it a little bit before I met Sifu Ramos.
Who's that?
And yeah, that's that guy over there, the
Who
old
hell
guy.
is Sifu Ramos?
And
Not you.
pretty much getting let's just say lessons learned.
There you go.
I came out of that and said, maybe I need to start,
Right.
being serious.
Now, why did
So-
you end up in Fremont? Were you staying out that far? I thought you
So
were local, right?
Fremont, I lived in what they call now Little Hollywood, Candlestick Cove area,
Okay.
and Esther Carolino,
Yeah.
the Carolino family, pretty much took me under their wing, and we were all doing martial arts together. Grew up with them, ended up at Woodrow Wilson High School, and then from there, circumstances moved to Fremont.
Okay.
And then that's where I hooked up with Crazy Dragons.
Yeah.
And then was there up until I graduated, and then moved into Modesto. And by that time, I started teaching and learning Kaji Kempo, Shotokan.
Right. Did you
like
open your
that.
own school at any point?
Yeah, in Modesto I did, and then I joined forces with a gentleman named Ken Polite. He was Shotokan 4th degree black belt out of Japan.
Wow.
And we ended up teaching out of the Modesto Sportsman's Club, Shotokan, and we did a mixed style of tournament fighting and street fighting with Shotokan at that point.
Wow, that's
So,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
What was the name of your school out there?
I believe it was just Ken Polite Shotokan Karate at that
Right.
point. When I ventured out on my own, I really didn't have a name.
Right.
But my
Martial arts.
martial arts.
From a white guy. The white guy.
The reformed Filipino.
Formerly known as the Filipino kid.
But at that point, I was teaching more street and
Oh, wow. Cool.
tournament style fighting, and with a lot of philosophy as far as understanding why we do what we do. Versus, I think when we're all younger, we want to get in there, be like Bruce Lee, Angela Ma Yang, Bolo Young.
I never
where-
wanted to be Angela Mao.
we-
She gets killed.
Yeah, she does. Or Cynthia Ruthrock, who's
Oh, yeah,
still,
Cynthia Rothrock is awesome.
she's still hot.
She's still doing stuff today, yeah. She,
Where we just want to get in and just get in there. And I think now when you look back at like movies like The Karate Kid, where he's like, wax on, wax off, we really didn't understand the concept.
Right.
I think now as we got older, as Danny and I were talking, is we understand more of the mechanics of why we do what we do.
Right.
And what the purpose of it is. And we talked about this yesterday over lunch.
Folks, in
is-
case you're wondering why he keeps looking over that way, Danny, you want to pop in real quick and say hey, and then we'll throw you back out?
Hello, everybody.
Now's my time.
This
Get
is the
out.
other Danny.
This is the guy.
This is the guy that used to, never mind.
Danny used to
was-
kick his
Love him
ass.
like, yes, yeah.
Danny used to
heard
kick
you
his
used to
ass
get
all
your
the
ass
time 'cause
kicked a
he-
lot.
Yes, I
Because of
did.
Danny.
And Danny was, yes. Danny was the secondary, but the primary, thank God he's not here. But
Oh, yeah, Glenn. Glenn is
Glenn, yes,
Yeah.
Glenn, yes.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
actually met him. He was at one of Danny's parties.
Yeah.
He had a.
Glenn has a big ego.
Yeah, well, that wasn't me, Glenn. If you want to kick his ass again,
Not
I know.
here.
We got a contact number for you.
Be like
Good.
this.
We'll do it. We'll put it on camera.
Put on camera, there you go.
Glenn, come out.
We'll charge $1.
Come out, Glenn.
We could use it for our Konversation fund.
I'm calling you out.
We're taking
So,
bets.
wheelchairs.
Knowing Glenn, though, he'll bring his guitar and hit you with it.
that's all right. I got something else for Glenn.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's right. We'll talk
So,
about that though.
Hey, Glenn, you have an open invitation to come in and do a rebuttal.
Because I have a question about. We were talking about off camera about that you do train firearms, so then you're also
Yeah.
an instructor at this point, right?
yeah, I
Okay.
teach.
So how does that street fighting into firearms? How does that?
So, firearms have a bad concept right now because
Horribly.
everybody's shooting people.
Right. It's easy.
And it is. And I don't care if you're a martial artist, if it's a weapon, just like anything else. As martial artists, we have weapons that we can use, nunchucks, 3-sectional staff, size, samurai sword. If we want to do mass destruction,
Pocket knives,
I've talked to people about this. You go through a crowd of 100 people with a knife. If you are strategic with your hands, you can go through and knife people, and before you realize it, you've got 50 people down. With a weapon, with a firearm, you can do the same thing.
Right.
It's not the weapon, it's not the firearm, it's not the knife, it's the individual. So the maturity level and understanding and respect is what we need to understand, that nowadays people are broken and it's a heart condition. And
Well, it's the mental aspects of everything.
Exactly.
What really drives all of that.
And-
Nobody ever does
Yeah.
anything with
with
mental health is such a big issue
Right.
that everybody
Right.
overlooks when these things go on.
Exactly. So, like anything else, it's just something that we have to teach people, that they need to understand that just because you have a certain tool in your arsenal of who you are doesn't give us the right to
Right.
violate other people's rights.
Right, because
You
I
know?
drive a bus. That's an 18-ton vehicle. If I were so inclined, I'm not. If I drove through a crowd, I think I could take out a lot more people than somebody with a
Right.
gun.
And we've seen that early on when we had a lot of terrorist attacks in London.
Right.
Yeah.
That truck that went through and knocked out, like 75 to 100 people.
Right.
What, now you're going to ban trucks
Right,
for
right.
being assault vehicles?
It's an assault truck.
Exactly. It's like, no.
But you're absolutely right. It is the person behind it. So what do you bring to the teaching aspect to get people to understand, who want to learn about guns, that, hey, this is about respect first before anything else?
So it's just like with martial arts. You respect your art, you respect your craft, and you respect what you're doing. When I'm teaching a firearm, the first thing before I even put a firearm in your hand is I want you to understand what a firearm is, what its purpose is, how it works. Okay? So the first thing I teach is, finger off the trigger and the components of your firearm. Okay? And to understand that the direction that the barrel needs to go is downrange. So we have what we call, flagging, be aware
Hey
what's to the
guys,
left.
this is nice.
To the left, to the right, yeah. And same with martial arts is that when you have a knife in your hand, you have to understand what's around you. You have to understand the limitations of nunchucks, right? In the movies, it looks great. Matter of fact, we were talking about the video of Bruce Lee playing ping pong with nunchuckers, right?
Which was
Ping pong was a CGI, right?
God damn it.
He may hit the ball once, but he ain't going to hit it 5 or 6 times, right?
Right.
But more so, when you hit somebody with a pair of nunchuckos, there's a recoil action that if you're not seasoned, you're going to get popped right back.
Yeah. How many
And
times have we did that when we were young?
luckily, I can say this: I never did.
Dude, how many times I hit myself in the nuts and my sack hadn't even fallen yet. I was so young, but man.
I never did because I think it was my fear factor of I don't want to be hit in the golden jewel.
Yeah, mine was
You
this,
know?
and I'd go down, and it went smack, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So the same with a firearm. It's like you have to understand that's a bullet coming out, and it does not know anything other than going where you point it.
Right. Finishes its travel. That's it.
It's finished its travel, right? It's like drugs have an equal opportunity. They don't care who they hurt, as long as if you're going to take it, you're going to end up
Yes, drugs are
feeling the
not
consequences.
racist.
Yes, they are not racist.
The people who sell them might be.
Somebody in that line of.
Well,
And that-
because again, we're talking about the actual usage of it, but it's not just the usage of it. It's the people who manufacture it, the people who sell it, the people who advocate it, the people who are against it. It's never just, like you said, that one person in front of
Right.
you. It's everything around you.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a previous background with the military. People ask me now all the time. I used to have an AR-15 that was set up for long distance shooting. I no longer have it. With everything going on, do I feel the AR-15 needs to be out there? No. It has a specific use, and it's not for squirrel hunting.
Because
It is
It's for
not.
self-protection.
It's not
Against
for.
who?
It's not for coyotes. But at the same time, it's like, if you really feel like you need to own it,
Right.
then be responsible enough to lock it up. And I do believe in 21 years old for owning a firearm,
Right.
especially nowadays. And a lot of my friends get mad about it, and I don't really care anymore. I'm
Right.
tired of seeing
Yeah,
over and over.
Well, the
a
last
kid
one that
getting
happened
in
with
half.
those kids, I mean, come on.
In
17,
Texas.
18, yeah.
Yeah.
How old was the guy?
17 years old.
He got it for his
year-old.
birthday or something?
No, he bought it.
He
No,
bought it,
he
right?
bought it, yeah. And, and then, of course, the news media pops up going, that's a $5,000 assault rifle. No, it wasn't. It was a $1,200 Daniel's Defense,
Wow.
Yeah.
And Daniel's Defense is top of the line. But Daniel's Defense, give them credit, they haven't ran from it. They're trying to make it right. They're working with law enforcement, right? But they sold it, and they
Right.
sold it legally.
Legally,
Okay.
right.
Yes, the
That's
kid bought it
operative word is
legally. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't obtained illegally.
Right.
Okay. So,
So making it illegal, is it really going to stop people from getting
right.
them?
I remember back in the day when we were younger, everybody had this common theory that the minute you're a martial artist, your hands are registered weapons. They're not.
Nope. A lot of
They,
people
they
didn't
never,
register.
they never
Nobody
were.
registered, right.
If you were a black belt, you were a tournament fighter, your hands were not registered, and people thought they were. They weren't.
There was,
You have
yes.
a picture of Muhammad Ali right there. His hands were not registered.
Well, they used
He
to say,
was known
Yeah.
as a lethal
well,
weapon.
the old story is like, oh, once you get to black, belt, you have to go register with the PD
Yeah,
and whatever.
and you
else.
don't. It's just like the theory of when I turned 18, my police record is sealed. No, it's not.
He found that out the hard way.
Right after 18, 2 days later, actually, matter of fact.
Wait, no, I'm not clean?
It wasn't. It wasn't me.
It was the other Filipino white guy.
Then that begs to the question of, do you try to, ban weapons of any kind? Because now you're taking the weapon of somebody who's helpless and needed that weapon, because the bad guys aren't going to follow that law anyways, because they're the bad guys.
They're the bad guys. They just follow
So
rules.
we're all from San Francisco.
Yeah.
We all remember the two mayors that were murdered,
Yep.
and we all remember Feinstein, the idiot. She bans all the weapons.
Right.
I remember my parents getting rid of weapons. And it wasn't until I moved to Modesto and started working very closely with Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department as a crime scene photographer, I ran into this twit at the Red Lion Inn, and I asked her, I said, you banned all the weapons. And this is the time of the Watchings, the Joe Fongs.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and the Jackson Street Boys. I says, let me ask you a question. And we were like face to face. I says, you ban all these weapons from people like me that are
Yeah, law-abiding citizens.
law-abiding citizens. I go, did you ever have the concept and the brains in your stupid little head to ban them from the guys that are criminals?
Yeah.
To this day, they still don't.
No, they don't.
So they take our weapons from us, but do you stop the criminals from having them? No. Do you hold them accountable? No.
You let him out.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Well, more so
Consistent,
nowadays.
yeah,
I mean,
more so now,
yeah.
Yeah. So
Just to clear the room,
So,
they did
so,
that
so
for
who
free.
are the victims? Law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
Right. And they can't protect themselves because you took all their guns from them. Fucking idiots.
It kind of
Yeah,
makes
that's it.
people want to just be criminals more so
Yeah,
than anything
because
else.
then
You'd
you
be like,
have a
well, I
gun.
They
follow
say
the
crime
rules.
don't. They say crime don't pay. I mean, watch television.
Look at the government.
Ouch.
And this is from a real
The
Filipino.
opinions expressed by that Mexican
By the
over there
Mexican.
is not necessarily the opinion.
Sorry, that came out way too fast. I don't want to make this political. Let's move on. You're a chef.
Yes, I am.
Great segue. Yeah, so tell us about this YouTube channel you're thinking about starting.
The website is oldmanchef.com.
There you go.
Old man chef.
Yeah, it's not because I'm old, but
Yes, you are. Because I remember you were older than me always, so you're still older.
yes, I'm old.
What's old? Because we know a 50-year-old who's like ripped.
That's true.
All right, fine. I'll show you.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
Maybe back in
Yeah.
the day it was okay, but now.
Oh, yeah, no. Hence the reason why I wear long pants.
There you go.
Yeah, no. Old Man Chef is just, I went from 3 different careers and thought, I love to cook and went back to school, became a chef, and the website just deals with cooking,
Uh-huh.
There's no lying. You just go there, you follow the recipes, and everything works out. You have questions, you email me. Please do not email me about weapons. please don't email me about
They-
guns.
Sorry, that wasn't a very clean segue. I just had to get out of it myself.
Actually,
they're
you
going
can
to call
email-
you about saucepans so they can hit somebody.
Actually, you can email me about anything you want. I will respond personally.
By saying, get the fuck off my thing.
Just be self-conscious that the website is very family-oriented.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, you're looking at it right
I'm
now?
looking it up.
He does.
Oh, he's looking it up right now.
Whoa, old man.
He's my research
Oldmanchef.com,
crew.
yeah, there you go.
He's the guy who does the research for me.
Yeah, oldmanchef.com. And there's not a lot of, there's no advertisements on it actually at all. I didn't want any garbage on there. There's a small bio about me. I don't talk about my family, my kids or anything. Most of my family still lives here in California. I just live in the Seattle area now.
You have kids?
Yeah.
You made that loud. Holy, someone like you has kids? What? Holy shit.
Did you have them registered? Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Oh
me.
yeah, look, he's got a
Big old
chef
knife
hat.
and fork, right?
He's a
Yeah.
giant, yeah.
He's got a rat under
A
the hat, you
giant
know.
whisk, a fork. You have a rat underneath your hair, huh?
Yeah.
It's funny. Oh, wow.
It's got food. Hence his aerodynamic body.
So let me ask you
Wait, hold on. Before you move on.
Okay.
Deep fried croissant French toast.
Yeah, that was
What
that
the
was
hell?
yeah. So I took croissants and you soak them like you would French toast, and then you drop them in a deep fryer and deep fry them. It is like the bomb.
Dude, my mouth is
It
watering
is.
right now. And
Yeah.
I think I gained like
No,
2 pounds.
seriously,
looking
you
at the
should try
picture.
it. That was.
so folks, next month
Segment 2.
he's gonna bring a deep fryer, a bunch of croissants, line up. We're gonna do a live show and a taste test.
Oh my God! Yes.
We're gonna use that show to fund our colleague conversation
All proceeds will go.
All
All
proceeds
proceeds will go
to
to.
these two guys,
There you go.
me and Naeem.
Sorry, I had to look that up. That's
It's good stuff.
wow.
So
I want to try it.
it's interesting. You said you had 3 failed.
No,
I didn't say fail.
Oh my God.
So I was an investigator. I started out in California as a homicide photographer,
Right.
crime scene
I remember.
photographer.
I remember hearing that piece.
Moved to DC, worked as a criminal investigator, then moved to Seattle, opened up a portrait studio, and then digital came around.
So did you have like a different identity in each one?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. And then
You
when,
went from Filipino white boy to a cook, and everything. In
There was a
between.
lot of steps in between.
Yeah.
It wasn't a straight
so
shot.
yeah, then while there, then digital came around, so film went goodbye,
Oh yeah.
and went back to school and became a chef. And
Okay, because
Now I just-
all I heard earlier was, since I know you from
Yeah.
before, 3 failed jobs, and I found this finally.
That's how he took.
That's how I-
yeah,
That's
that's
how-
how he took it.
what-
Right,
that's
it's
how I
always
heard
beat
it.
up on the white
You
guy.
have to remember.
I'm still getting beat
you have
up
to
on
remember
now.
when I knew him back in the 70s. There was a lot of drugs involved.
I know there was drinking maybe, but not drugs.
Really? Well,
No, never smoked dope. Never.
Yeah,
no.
I just say that because everybody else around him did.
Yeah.
yeah, he's not actually Asian.
Yeah, you have to remember. I was about 12 or 13 ish, so I had no clue what was going on.
Oh,
I would see stuff and I'm like,
Just see it, huh?
just see.
Just see it. Not involve yourself.
Oh no, never. Danny would never let me. He kept me away from that bullshit. Yeah, you see what he does with his.
So you're a
kids.
chef now.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
Yeah, it's going good.
All right.
Other than I only work 2 days a week. I'm old.
Okay, fine. Fine, I'll give you that one.
Are you in a restaurant right now?
I pop around different restaurants. Yeah.
really?
So, yeah.
He walks around sounding like a neat cook.
At least I'm not staying on a street corner going.
Hey, you're working, so we can't say anything bad about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, also, it's been a long time since.
It's been a long
I mean,
time.
frickin' the 70s was a long,
Yeah.
like, decades
Dude, he
and
moved to
decades
DC
ago,
just to be away from you, so.
pretty much, right?
I don't know. I moved to DC and quit getting beat up on.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny because, and I'll tell you something that, because I'm getting these flashbacks. I remember your eyes. Cause
Well, at
everything
least it's
else-
not the voice.
Well, no, because everything else is out of shape, but this pretty much stayed the same.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
dude.
the ring's right there, you know.
Yeah, hey, I know where to get
First
some
can of
gloves.
butt whip going right now.
No, but that was, I mean, that was a lifetime ago, wasn't
That was a
it?
lifetime ago.
Yeah, I mean, that was some, because I remember, and I was, like I said, I was very young, and I had no clue what we were doing. Danny just said, "Oh, Rick, we're going to do this thing. Come on, we could use you."
Here,
I
stop
remember
my
you-
foot with your face.
Yeah, I remember you coming out of the tree with a flying sidekick, and I'm just thinking to myself, he is going to get hurt. And you came out, and we got the video, we got the photo, and it was a perfect, I mean, it looked like Bruce Lee, man. I was just like, and even recently, Orlando sent me the photo, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember that day. And I still think, he didn't get hurt.
Dude,
Now we do it, we're going to snap our damn necks.
I was really hoping that you were gonna say once we took the camera off him, you see him rolling down the side of the hill.
No, he landed
That would've
great.
been really.
I
Yeah,
actually know. I learned that from Bruce Lee, that particular move only.
yeah. Yeah, it was good. The day he's talking about.
You'll have to send me that picture.
Yeah.
We'll put it up.
We'll put it up on
Yeah.
Because I don't believe it.
No, it's.
No,
Oh, Danny's got it on his phone.
yeah, dude, back then we were fearless.
We were
All of us
fearless.
were doing shit like
We're
that.
we're fearless
Did you
between.
guys had to walk through how many gangs just to get to your house?
Yeah, on Mission
Yeah,
Street,
yeah, Mission, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kinda
And
have to
they
be.
went to Woodrow. I went to Mission High School, and that was
Yeah.
that was a
Mission was bad. Wilson was bad. Yeah,
told you.
it's like the token white kid in a. Yeah.
yeah.
Then when I moved
It's
to
okay. You're still
Fremont,
the majority in,
Yeah.
in the country.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Then I moved to
Just not this
Then I
part of
moved to
the
Fremont. I go to Fremont. I go to American High School. And I walk in and it's like all these white people, and I'm like, "You have got to be joking! This is where they send you guys."
Yeah, this is your
I'm like,
penance.
"Oh my
Is this
God!"
why I was alone?
Well, then I never, I was all about R&B. There was no
Right.
rap at the time.
Right,
it was,
right.
it was all R&B.
Everybody
the-
else is doing rock,
The Jackson, Earth,
metal.
Wind and Fire. You walk in and here's Aerosmith and Peter Frampton. I'm like, what the hell did I get myself into? And there's like 7 Filipinos, and I'm going, oh yes, my people are here. And then they want to beat me up in the bathroom. I'm like, it's like. And they're speaking Tagalog, and I'm in the bathroom, and they're getting ready to jump me, and I'm like, and I'm listening to this going, it's going to be game on in a minute. Zip. Ding, ding. And then we became best friends after that. So
Because you started saying things in Tagalog, right?
no, because I beat the hell out of them.
Oh, there you go.
And the guy was like, how did you know what we were saying? And it's like, because I used to speak Filipino, I speak Tagalog fluently, and they're like, where'd you learn that from? San Francisco.
They knew right then. It's
And now
like,
we're good friends. Now, yeah.
That's funny.
Like,
That's too funny. Oh my God. It's like, where are the brown people?
it's like, they say you take the Filipino out of San Francisco, but you can't. Yeah,
Well, you
funny.
kept too much Filipino inside, I guess.
Oh, God.
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, I miss the food. You can't get that in Seattle.
Well, you're getting some kind of good food.
No, that's his cooking.
Oh,
He has
that's
to
right.
taste
His own
everything.
cookie.
I don't miss a meal.
You don't miss him. He even takes in a couple of extras. He does 11
Be like,
seasons.
hey guys, can I just use your kitchen because I'm hungry?
Yeah,
I don't even want to sell anything. Just...
yeah. No, Seattle's a little weird. It's like known for the friendliest place, but the loneliest place.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, people just don't.
Well, the
No.
state is the highest suicide rate outside of Alaska.
Kind of, sort of. It's more. So you have Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and it's a lot of. It's a lot. How could you put this? Let's just say if you think you have rights, move to Seattle. You don't have no rights. Everybody's a pig.